First community meetup for EveriToken today. So I would like to give a little bit short introduce about myself.
Okay.
So I'm actually doing the we have bought technology together with Angelina. Now we basically represent EveriToken in Netherlands. So we'll basically pick up all of the community and business development things here. So I'm a crypto fan. I'm also quite into all crypto stuff. I'm also doing my own investment. So that's about us. Maybe Angelina and Jerome will also give a short introduction.
I think you said pretty much. Okay.
you want to say? Okay.
Okay. So Confein and I will do the same things. We're partners, and our company is called Bot Technology. We do a lot of things. But mainly our core business is to invest in high quality blockchain projects. And we invest either as an ordinary investor, or we invest and then we just sit there and wait for our investment to appreciate, hopefully more often than not, or as a strategic partnership investor, i.e. that we invest in the crypto, the blockchain project, but on top of that, we foster partnership relationship with the project, and we help them to grow, to expand, and then we assist them in all sorts of ways they want, and we help them to build connections with investors, with other projects, and help them to build community and do marketing, business development, all sorts of things. And we have built our network within the Netherlands, but also we have built a network in other countries in the EU, Germany, Switzerland, and England. And also we have a strong connection with the Asian market. And EveriToken is a really good example of this, being a really high quality Chinese project with whom we formed this partnership. That's about it. And also we want to say that before we have invested in EveriToken, we have seen with our own eyes that how hardworking the whole team is, and how fast they've grown, and how much they have achieved, and especially how high of a profile they enjoy within China. So it was a no-brainer for us to invest in this project and also want to form a partnership with them. That's me.
Well, I thought he said everything, but you were just adding a little bit. But
It's more details. Yeah, it's more details.
What are the big companies you are connected with in China or Japan? Because he's in Tokyo, or is he? He's in Japan.
China.
No, Brady actually, EveriToken founded in China.
Yeah.
But Brady right now is attending a kind of seminar or meeting conference in Japan.
In Tokyo.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay.
So basically, we mainly connected with blockchain project in China. So either the new startup or the big company like Big Man. We also know some people. So basically all the companies you come up with name, then in China you can just let me know if you want to know someone. I think it's possible. Time-wise, can Yan give us a little bit introduction? Then we hand over to Brandy.
Yes, we have a few minutes. My name is Jan Robert Schutte. I'm co-founder of Crypto Academy. We are a little bit the hard fork of Option Academy, because we have many years experience with trading. You're one of the first traders as well for Option Academy, and our aim is to help people to invest in projects, but also to trade with cryptos. So two sides, and always to give the Holy Grail in our own hand.
Yeah. And
Hans of the Bogart is also one co-founder, and he's specialized in technical trading, and I'm basically more specialized in crypto trading. That's my focus on that. But besides that, I like very much to connect people and also projects. That's why I attended many projects and many events throughout the world, and one event was UOB, and I met Gonfei there.
Yeah, and I think that's the first time we
managed to get connection, and also with Angelina for Business Club IMN. We did the best non-pitch ever there, and there we met Angelina, and we saw many possibilities to cooperate.
we have some.
Yes, we have a website, of course,
Sorry.
EveriToken.nl and BOT Technologies. Here we are strengthening our forces.
If you don't mind, you can sit next to the front.
Yeah, we are strengthening our forces, and our aim for this day. Actually, I've been invited in a panel discussion of EveriToken, and was organized by Convey and Angelina as well. And the aim of this meetup is introductory, and yeah, to get each other know, and also if you have some interesting projects or ideas, you can put it on the table. And soon we will go over to Brady, the CEO and of EveriToken, and he would like to give a presentation soon. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah. So
Okay, let's start.
yeah, let's start. Brady.
Okay, so yeah, but before my presentation, I wanna make a few corrections. So first, this is not the first meetup. We actually had one meetup last October in Amsterdam. That was a really big one. I forgot the name of that place, but it was like along the beautiful river, you know.
It's Hilton.
Hilton
by
Hotel.
DoubleTree. or
Double
something.
Tree Hilton, yes.
Okay, anyway, so this is not the first time for us to be in Amsterdam, this amazing city, so this is the second time. And during that trip, we had like the same meetup in Berlin, in Paris, Amsterdam, okay? And we will hopefully continue doing this as well. But next time, hopefully, I want to be on the Zoom. Hopefully, I can be there to meet you guys, okay? Drink Heineken with you guys. And
Yeah,
then,
please do.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking of.
Okay. And the second
That's a
one would be, so Guangwei claimed this is a Chinese project. I would say any type of blockchain is a global project. So I don't think there's any region specific for our project. Actually, as a matter of fact, EveriToken is registered in Zug, Switzerland, the crypto valley. Although our co-founders, we are Chinese, but like we're really taking a global point of view of our project. That's why we want to develop our local community in Amsterdam, in Europe, you know. And then third but not least is that Guangfei said I'm based in Shanghai, but not really. I'm based on airplane, so I fly all over. In the past 6 months, it's been like 50 countries for me. So really, I'm trying hard to build a global community for EveriToken. So that's why we have this amazing event organized by Guangfei Angie and Yan Robert, like locally. So I'm so glad to see this happening. And before this, a couple of hours ago, I was invited to a meetup in Tokyo. It's actually by Liz community. So Liz is a German project. I did learn a lot from them as well. They had a very good community in Tokyo. So hopefully we can achieve more here as well. And I can invite you guys to come to enjoy some sake later here as well. So yeah, here's a few things about before my presentation. So now I'm gonna go to the essential part about introduction to EveriToken. So EveriToken has its own mission as a public blockchain. I would see most of the public blockchain is doing more or less like smart contract platform. But EveriToken is trying to do something differently. We're trying to do the fast infrastructure to deal with tokens and the token economy. Actually, the idea is quite simple. In the past, people look at the coins too much. But coins, mainly cryptocurrencies, containing not big value, like 200 billion roughly today, and worldwide it's like 50 million roughly people are involved. Compared to real human fortune, like all the assets and actives, it's really tiny little. So what we see in the future is that all this human assets and activities can be tokenized because the value should be circulated on blockchain. So this whole process is called tokenized. That's what we are trying to facilitate, either business or individual, to do this on a very easy way, on a very fast way. So this reminds me the idea of e-commerce. Think about this, like 20 years ago, there's no e-commerce. But now we can easily buy things, buy goods, buy products, all kinds of products on a mobile phone, cross-border, 724. So what I believe in the future is that we can easily trade value like this a decade later, right, on blockchain. So that's the whole blueprint that we want to help people to achieve. So the core functions part about the tokenize is actually very, very simple. We divide them into three main categories. So it's about issue tokens, transfer tokens, and manage tokens. But the painful part about issue tokens and manage tokens today is that you have to write a smart contract. Here's a question for you guys. How many of you here can write a smart contract? Can you raise your hand? No one. Oh, one. Who is that?
Yeah, so
Hello.
I'm Thomas.
maybe you would like to him introduce himself.
I'm Thomas. I'm a blockchain core developer, so I can for sure.
Okay, exactly. So because you are blockchain engineer,
Yes.
that's why you can do it. But even normal engineer, like software engineer, internet engineer, they couldn't do it properly. So I mean, in the past 6 months, I've been meeting so many people all over the world. I would say that only a few thousand blockchain engineers are qualified to write a smart contract properly, like Thomas himself. But it's a huge entry barrier for this industry. That's one thing we're trying to lower the entry barrier, which I'm going to talk about later. So in the middle, the transfer tokens, again, we're trying to set a very low entry barrier, like internet user experiences for our end users, making a free user experience for them. And to support all those functions, we build a high speed, high security, and high standardization blockchain, which is EveriToken, and also on a low cost way. This 3 highs and 1 low, which we think is very, very crucial for today's commercial usage. So here are 3 key innovations about EveriToken, technical innovations. First of all, we invented token-based bookkeeping method or transaction model. And secondly, we use safe contract to replace the traditional smart contract layer. Third but not least, everybody knows that micropayment is very, very crucial on blockchain. But for a lot of reasons, for say scalability and user experiences reason, Bitcoin Ethereum doesn't work well on micropayment side. But we have very good one, a commercially ready one called EveryPay. That's very, very suitable for micropayment solution. And it's already achieved the RDK user experiences that I can show you later. So about new transaction model, as we all know, Bitcoin using UTXO, Ethereum using account base, and we invented token base. We actually wrote academic paper on this. It's like 10 or 11 page long. I can send you guys later. It's going to be published on IEEE Access in about 2 weeks. So the benefits about token-based transaction model is very, very obvious. So on the account base, because all these smart contracts are written by third party, so these transactions have to be done in a sequential way. When you do sequential, it slows you down. So what we trying to do is we put this token transactions on our blockchain in a parallel way as much as we could. For all the non-fungible token NFTs, it's 100% parallel. For fungible tokens, FTs, we try our best to do majority part of it in a parallel way, but some small portions still we have to do in a sequential way. But we already achieved, because of this technical innovation, we already achieved 10K TPS by last December. So this shows the difference between Ethereum platform and EveriToken. So a smart contract platform like Ethereum is more or less like a normal computer, trying to be world computer, right? So, but for us, we are more like a special purpose engine. We're trying to deal with all the tokenized core functions, as I mentioned, issue tokens, transfer tokens, manage tokens, trying to deal with them fast. But we are not trying to solve other problems. That's why we can be more focused. We can work better on this part. And on this page, we're going to explain how we use safe contract to replace the traditional smart contract layer. So the good benefit about smart contract, as we all know, is very, very flexible. But on the other side, it's so vulnerable that hundreds of millions were lost or stolen in the past because of these vulnerabilities. So what we do is that we write all these core functions within the safe contract native on our blockchain. We do not allow the third-party external application users to write their contract again. So they can use simple API calls to realize these core functions. So what are the trade-offs behind this safe contract? So I would say definitely we lose some of the flexibility. But in return, what we get is, first of all, we lower the entry barrier for the developers, as I mentioned. So now we can have access to tens of millions of normal engineers. They can use JavaScript, Java, Python, Go to realize these core functions. Second of all, so we provide a standardized way for people to use these core functions, and also in a very safe way. So I use this picture to illustrate the differences again. So think about today, all of us have a car. But what we do is we just go to buy a car by different configuration. We choose different colors, different seats, different leather, different wheels, easily. That's the 99% standard needs we're facing every day, either in our work or in our life. That's what a safe contract is doing, it's providing. But on smart contract, it's like building your own investment mobile. It's really hard. Why? You need huge engineering team. You need huge amount of time. You need huge budget. And probably you end up like the blue one. Why? Because you don't have these resources. So your expectation and reality is actually very, very different. And that translates to the amount of time you have to develop different applications on different platforms. So on EOS or Ethereum, it's all about months. And that does not include time. You have to verify a smart contract. That could be much, much longer. So a Mac team from Estonia in Dubai, they spent over 6 months to verify their smart contracts, which I think is necessary. Why? Because for every token, we spent a year, invited 4 security companies to verify our safe contracts in the past year, the whole year. Make sure it's safe. So then external application users can use our functions within a week or so by those simple API calls. You don't need to do it again and again and again. So we have been talking about lowering entry barrier for the developer side and business side. On this page, we're going to talk about how to lower entry barrier for end user side. So think about application on Ethereum. For example, CryptoKitty, we all know it. So if you transfer a very expensive CryptoKitty to your mom, she could not sell at all because she doesn't have Ether. That's the huge pain part about Ethereum-based applications as crypto user experience. So think about internet today. You download Zoom for free. I download for free. We get connected for free. That's the user experience we get used to every day. So we have the payment mechanism allowing all the business side to pay for the gas fee for the whole system. It's not free because if it is free, then you get so many attackers to jam up the whole network for free. But end user don't need to touch the crypto. They don't need to touch the gas fee anymore because they don't have to. So think about the normal internet applications with 7 billion people using every day. Nobody understands what HTTP means, what TCP/IP protocol is. You don't have to, just use it. Similarly, we have the same user experience, all the applications on EveriToken. So here's the EveriToken development timeline. We started the team on late 17, like November 17. we started coding since February last year. Everything is open source. You can check from github.com/EveriToken. We launched our mainnet last July, end of July. And then we launched our EveryPay, the micropayment solution, 2 weeks after mainnet launch. Achieved 20 TPS last December. So still, I want to talk about 3 key innovations about EveryPay, which functions like the decentralized version of Visa. So first of all, we are the first one to provide the dynamic QR code, which is called TOTP. So what's the benefit of this? I mean, in China, people get used to it very easily because, for example, in Alipay, you have 2 QR code standards. One is static, which is similar to a BTC or ETH QR address. With that one, you can only receive money. But this dynamic QR code, this TOTP, you can actually allow the merchant side to deduct money from end user wallet. The good benefits about this is very user friendly. So why? Because as an end user, you don't need to type in anything, no nothing. Just show your TOTP. In the merchant side, they use a normal scanner to scan a merchant QR code and then scan your QR code, and it's done. It's already deducting a coffee fee from your wallet within a second. As an end user, you don't need to do anything. And then second of all, we lower the transaction confirmation time within 1 to 2 seconds globally. So when you buy a coffee again, you couldn't wait 7 minutes to buy a coffee for microtransactions. Third but not least, it's about the scalability. So a Bitcoin network or Ethereum network dealing with single double-digit transaction per second, that's far away from like the commercial world, say Visa, Alipay, is dealing with 6,000 or 8,000 transactions per second on a daily basis. 24K is about 50 students. So EveriToken has already achieved 10K capacity, which is ready for the massive adoption. So here are some of the industry awards we won in the past. So one of the largest is held in Malaysia last year. It was Global Payment Summit organized by Visa and Swift, and also Alipay as well. So we had only blockchain payment project out there. And the other one would be the one in Hong Kong. So business-wise, I want to show you guys the difference between Ethereum and EveriToken as well. So Ethereum is trying to convert the whole centralized application system to a decentralized platform. This is quite ideal because there are 3 main obstacles from a perspective. So first of all, think about all the medium-sized or big-sized companies that benefit most from centralized system. For example, who owns your data on Facebook? Probably not you, not me, the company stuff. So they're not going decentralized way entirely. Second of all, there are many high-performance required applications. They couldn't run on decentralized platform entirely because of low efficiency nature. Third but not least, we have been talking with almost like 500 potential business partners in the past. Most of them, I would say majority of them, feel there's no need for them to move the whole system to blockchain. Why? It's very simple. Blockchain is about dealing with the value. If you want all the information, you just deal with the internet. Internet has solved that problem pretty well in the past 30 years. So you only need to keep the valuable part on blockchain. So that can be tokenized. So for us, what we see in future is that apps and dApps will be coexisting in future. They just deal with different things. And both of them can easily use EveriToken core functions by API calls. So business-wise, we have very, very low friction, low user migration cost. So here are some of the typical applications based on EveriToken public blockchain. So currently we have 30 live applications. By the end of this year, I'm hoping to pushing that number to 100. But high value ones is like tokenization of arts, real estate. Today, people call them STO. And then in the middle, we have like charity, application, identity, personal identity, games, etc. The two categories I'll emphasize would be our Q applications. So one would be stablecoin and then using EveriPay. And the second would be IoT related to EveriToken type of blockchain. So we are currently in the final stage of developing our own crypto chips that can be used in smart devices. For example, a smart door. For example, in smart wearables. For example, in a card, in a like cold wallet card. So this is going to be massive adoption in some of our business partners very soon. That I hopefully next time when I go to Amsterdam, I can bring some of this hardware stuff to show you guys. This is one example of the charity platform using EveriToken. So this is actually the largest voluntary platform in China. It's actually a SaaS system that provides SaaS services to all the NGO organizations in China, that connecting to almost like 500,000 NGO organizations and almost 80 million registered users. So what confused them in the past is that the charity work wasn't very transparent. It wasn't recorded in a very transparent way. So they want to put this time bank on blockchain, on our public blockchain. Then later, if you contribute 1 hour, say, donation work, no matter which organization you contribute, you get 1 coin. That's called 1 charity coin. And within that 1 charity coin, you can save it for other people's charity work to you later. Or you can use this 1 coin to pay, for example, in a vending machine and some of the other partnership merchants. Currently in China, but later definitely they're trying to do partnership with organizations in Australia, in Germany later as well. Because time banks actually, if I'm not wrong, time banks is a concept raised by a Swiss organization. And the other use case, as I mentioned, is about the stablecoin and EveriPay. So why stablecoin is needed for normal people? Because, not too many people understand crypto. And also, even if they understand it, the price fluctuation of crypto is too volatile. They couldn't use for micropayments. So that's why we have one amazing stablecoin partner called our organic group. They issue 500 million USD, 1-to-1 pack stablecoin called XWG Cash. It's crossed from Southeast Asia. So they're going to use in their shopping mall, hotels, cruise, casinos, everywhere. So in short, it's going to be in travel entertainment industry. And then later, in retail. So recently they signed MOU with 7-Eleven in Philippines. So one thing that we probably usually we do not understand that well is that today still 2 billion people unbanked worldwide, mainly in Southeast Asia, Africa, Middle East, Latin America. So in this, say in Philippines, outside Manila, like 80% of people unbanked. So it's very easy or it's very efficient and a cheap way for them to use blockchain payments. So they can enjoy the same payment services as we do every day, say in Amsterdam. Here are some of the investors in our project. We do have more, but we haven't updated this one yet. As I mentioned before, the project EveriToken is registered in Zug, Switzerland, and recently we have been getting the FINMA approval. Finally, it's been like 7 or 8 months. UVC, our own coin, it serves as the gas fee for the whole system. And also, if someone wants to get elected as the block producer, they have to stake UVCs. So in summary, EveriToken is world's first token customized public blockchain. As I mentioned, we have our own mission. That is the best infrastructure for the token economy. And we have already achieved high TPS, high security, high standardization, low cost, which is very, very crucial for commercial world. And thirdly, we have a great micropayment solution called EveriPay that's comparable to today's centralized solution, which is the first of this kind and a decentralized platform. The last one would be commercial-wise, we have very low friction and low user migration costs, making us very easy to implement in the real world. Oh, this is the hackathon we held last year. We received a lot of interesting projects worldwide. And this is my personal contact information. If you guys are interested, definitely feel free to contact me. And I wanna add one more thing is that, so what we are looking for say from Amsterdam is that, so first of all, we want to build our local community out there. The second of all, we want to have more application, hopefully in Amsterdam as well, which I think is a very good way to demonstrate what we can do and what kind of advantages EveriToken has versus other public blockchain. So yeah, these are basically the two main things. I'm hoping, or I look forward to you guys contribute later. And now I guess I can answer some of the questions if you guys have.
Well, thanks, Brandy, giving us the presentation. So please be notified. It's like later on we will have a game. So the game will based on all of the information you collected from the presentation. So if you still have some question need to be further clarified, just let Brandy know, then we can just discuss here. It's not only about technical, or if you want to have some question about the community-wise or business partner-wise, so it's all free to ask.
How many countries in Europe is he active?
So if I understand right, you're asking for how many countries the community of EveriToken exists, or active? I would say right now the most active one in Europe is Berlin, I guess. Then Amsterdam is also quite an active one. So there will be more.
And Paris as well.
Paris as well. Okay.
Paris.
Yeah. So right now I would see 3 of them is quite active.
Well, I also read Zook.
Zook, basically the EveriToken registered as Zook.
Okay.
So Switzerland has their own like finance regulation. You should be regulated. Try to start up this kind of cryptocurrency project. So it's fully legal in Switzerland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as I mentioned, we got the FINMA approval. FINMA is the financial regulator in Switzerland. So we got their approval, we can officially do ICO. I mean, although today people don't have ICO anymore, but they give us the go, the letter saying we can do it properly.
I got a question, Brady. Thank you for your clear and very good presentation. Can you give us some use cases EveriToken is being used for? Because in Amsterdam, back in Amsterdam, your presentation you showed live a very nice transaction with your QR code, etc. But how in practice does it work at this moment? Do you have some examples?
Yeah, sure. That's actually a very, very good question. It's a hard question for me as well. So what I see is that different countries, we see different flavor of like applications. To be honest with you, I also have the same question in Japan today, with a lot of like the insightful people here. For stablecoin and micropayment, as I mentioned before, in my experiences, it's more suitable or it's more beneficial to the people in those emerging markets, like I mentioned, 2 billion people unbanked. It's very easy for them to get good payment services if they use this. But you guys are in Amsterdam, you guys are pretty spoiled. You can use any like Visa or like MasterCard, whatever. It's very easy for you guys to do payments. So there's no strong needs from this side, I would say. But what I see interesting last time when I went to Germany is that I went to the Commerzbank blockchain lab, like the second largest bank in Germany. They were very interested in our IoT applications, say smart door applications. And one reason I would say probably because IOTA was born in Germany, so they have very strong feeling or connection to the IoT blockchain stuff. So in Amsterdam, actually, I want to ask you guys. That's the question. I want to ask you guys what kind of blockchain applications you think that is suitable or easy to implement or easy to understand locally. I can definitely send you a list of what we have globally. But locally, I do need your help. I do need your advices. So this question is for you guys, not for me, really.
Okay, thank you. And if you are looking for business partnerships, which kind of partners you're looking for in Amsterdam?
So business partner-wise,
yes.
Globally, what we are looking for is, as I mentioned, we are not really targeting crypto world. That's really small in our opinion. So we want to target the real world. So anything, as you can see on this slide, so anything that using our EveriToken public blockchain that can benefit the existing businesses, for example, that's the thing we're looking for, or that's the business partner we're looking for. Something that we can really help them that couldn't be, or that's very hard to achieve in the past business models, right? Blockchain should be doing something that, say, internet could not solve probably in the past. That feels like a strong need to improve or to empower the business. So this is some of the business partners we're looking for. Someone who really feel like the blockchain can help them, can empower them.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Hi, Freddy, this is Patrick. I'm in the corner.
Hi.
Hi. Particularly on identity. What does that mean? Is that digital identity? Is it self-sovereign identity? And what kind of applications do you have in that regard?
Yeah, so on-chain identity is actually quite interesting. It could be two kinds. It could be purely on-chain identity. For example, if you play a blockchain game, right? You use purely on-chain identity. That's enough. What we see is that, especially in emerging markets, a lot of people are unbanked. 2 billion people are unbanked. Sometimes not because of the banks don't want to serve them. A lot of people even don't have IDs. I mean, they have lousy government maybe. And so, in that way, you probably need a hardware identity for them. So we do have a card called EveriCard that can give them a unique identity that's linked to on-chain identity as well. But this can be used off-chain, say in a offline scenarios. But this is a huge project if you use offline. In that case, sometimes you probably have to work with the UN together. But we are just you can say we are the service provider. I've been talking with some of the, say, international organizations on this. We are happy to provide the solutions, but we need their help to make this implement in those countries. So that's the personal identity from what I see in the past.
Okay, but are there any concrete applications running on EveriToken then?
Oh, okay. So for the personal identity case, on-chain identity, we actually do not develop our own from scratch because this is the application layer
Sure.
from our point of view, right? So what we do is have been talking with several identity service provider, blockchain identity service provider worldwide. So we're trying to find the best solution that is most suitable for every token. And then we'll do the technical integration. So later people can use this easily. But for the hardware identity, we have our own card that's going to be live hopefully 3 to 4 weeks from now on. And that one is built by our own. And that's going to be linked to the on-chain identity.
Thanks.
Hi, I have a follow-up question regarding the card. Can it be used offline? So can you make card-to-card payments or exchange of value? What's in the card? Is it Bluetooth connected, NFC?
Yeah, that's a good question. I will show you here. One moment.
He's sleeping. It's 6 o'clock or something.
So-
It's already almost
So
2
this-
o'clock. in
Can you
Japan.
see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Okay,
nice.
cool.
Okay.
So this is the every card, as I mentioned, and that's exactly what you asked. So this card looks like a normal bank card. The only difference is that this one does not have a Visa or MasterCard logo on top of it.
I know, Chip.
This one is running on the EveriToken system. So for example, this is it's gonna be issued by HWG Cash, the stablecoin partner. So you can easily use this card for NFC payments. And it's empowered by EveryPay as well. So you can pay, for example, like you swipe a card when you go to the bus or metro station. With 1 second, you can pay crypto, your stablecoin.
So you can use it to do machine-to-machine payments and machine to people payments?
Yeah, sure. On machine to machine or people to machine, that's only front end. To us, on the back end is the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the transaction bidirectional is possible.
Say that again. Sorry.
The transaction, is it possible to do it bidirectional? So instead
Yeah,
of normally
sure.
having a Visa card,
And it,
can you also collect instead of only?
Yeah.
no
it's-
problem.
It's
On the
also
card, you can collect
for
money,
pay
but
and also
if you-
receive.
On a normal card,
Yeah.
that's not possible?
Yeah, here you can.
Okay.
Yeah, you
But
can,
it's
you
just
can
the
receive
card
money,
or-
no problem. But if you want to check the balance, you have to use this card, interacting with your mobile app to check the balance. That's the only thing you couldn't do.
Yeah, but it contains the secure element to
Oh yeah, of course. As you can see,
be
it's
sure there's only one and it prevents the double spending.
No, it
That's the
prevents
trick.
double spending. Yes, of
Oh,
course.
okay.
It has private key inside. So if you want to know the details of this card, I will send you this materials. It's actually saying beyond bank level security. Yeah, because blockchain in general is actually provide more security.
Okay. You solved the problem if you
Yeah.
did this.
This private key is actually built in this card. Nobody knows your private key. You don't need to know it yourself as well.
What if somebody loses the card? Can
Oh.
other people use it?
It's a good question as well. So the two kinds of ways to solve this. So first of all, if it's small amount, it's pretty much like a cash. If you lose your cash, you lose your cash, right? So if it is a big amount, you can trust the third party, say this issuer. You can ask them to multi-side on your card, and then later, if you lose it, for example, it's like 10K USD, it's huge money. It can recover it for you, but you have to trust this third-party organization for multi-signature.
Okay. But is it possible to use it offline, or does it always have to connect to your chain solution?
Oh no! It's definitely connecting to EveriToken public blockchain.
So it always needs an authorization.
But but if you want to use it in a centralized way, and then probably you have to remove EveriToken entirely, and that's like a centralized way.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much like the difference between centralized wallets and the decentralized wallets.
What is the main currency they're using?
Main currency for HWG.
Oh,
Think-
it's back to USD.
Stable.
Okay.
US dollar?
It's like that.
Yeah, because it's
Like
going to be
that.
used in all through
Yeah.
Southeast Asia, not only in one country. So that's why they tax USD.
Well, he said something about local firms, companies,
Mm-hmm.
that is Dutch companies. That's where he wants some contacts with. That's what he mentioned. He mentioned local companies.
Local company here
Yeah.
in terms of Netherlands.
Yeah, that's
Issuers.
what he said.
Do you mean issuers?
No, okay.
Local
Shops,
Who will accept
shops.
shops?
shops, yeah,
Partners.
parties, yeah, partners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Local business partners.
Yeah.
Partner. So the point is that if you contact a company whose business is going very well, they don't need you. If their business is going already very well,
So they're looking for the partners
no, but when you
that will
contact
need
with the
their
card,
technology.
you go to a company, they said, well, our business is going very well, we don't need you, we don't need the card, this system. But when you look at a company like Rituals, already since 2 months, this company is going very well, but since 2 months, this company called Hudson Bay is coming with a exact like Rituals, because I come from India, Ritual comes from India, but they are coming with another name called Aveda. Aveda means that the Ritual is now having a competition. So they said, okay, yeah, come with a card, because then they can do business with you, because they will get more business through the card.
There's
You understand?
probably a financial benefit for the issuers,
For
right?
the both.
Because usually you
Less-
pay 4%
less
commission.
and less
or-
third parties.
Yeah,
Less
all
payment
kinds of
service
payment
providers.
service will take part of the things
Mhm.
Exactly.
like
Cut- cut the
incentive.
middleman
and they
out.
will-
So if there's a financial benefit, even if business is going
2
well,
3%.
exactly, I would do it
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
as a retailer.
It's actually 5% in Southeast
Yeah,
Asia.
5.
So that's huge.
Yeah.
Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brady. And what's the percentage with you?
Oh, it's 0.00006.
There you
Okay.
go. Bitcoin.
Lightning. Satoshi wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was working with the financial industry because the problem for them is like it goes to so many intermediaries, as you guys mentioned before, right? So so the money goes to my branch bank and goes to the headquarters and goes to Swift and goes to your bank, goes to the branch bank. So many intermediaries, and they have huge overhead costs because banks are so highly regulated everywhere on this planet. So they have huge mid office, back office costs. So that's bring us their like huge per customer cost for their banking services. That's why they do not want to serve that 2 billion people.
Okay, then I've got one question about every card. Is it already accepted in, for instance, Germany or Netherlands, for instance?
Oh, not really. So the card will come out in about 3 to 4 weeks, as I mentioned. So first it's going to be used in Southeast Asia.
Okay.
But because we do not issue the card on our own, so as I mentioned, every place functions like a decentralized Visa. So Visa does not issue a card on its own, but they need business partners. And normally, like say, big organizations or big banks, they issue the cards. So we are the underlying network to support this, to empower the business partners. But we do not act as, let's say, as a bank issuer itself, So we need local business partners to do this.
So big
Yeah.
retailers.
Mm-hmm. So, but if the cost, they cut off the middleman and save 5% or a bit less, then it's easier for retailers, for instance, to accept also this kind of a payment I mean, they don't care as long as they get fiat money on their account.
Yeah.
So
No, but
So if-
somebody needs to issue the coin.
yeah, of course,
There
but
needs to be a big elephant to
Mhm.
basically take that on and then distribute it.
so we have to catch a big
Which is
elephant
not a-
here.
Which is not a bank.
Okay, thank you.
A follow-up question: Do you even need the card if your dynamic QR code works perfectly? Everybody has a smartphone, so the point of sale does not need a terminal.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh,
Can
sorry.
you say that louder?
Think something,
With this card,
Yeah,
you still
overheated.
nobody can hand over the
Yeah.
mic.
with this card you still use the traditional payment system solution with the point of sale terminals, hardware wise. If you're dynamic,
Alright, I get your first part. With this card, do you need your what?
you still make use of the traditional payment terminals,
Oh,
hardware wise.
It's so there are a couple of ways. So you don't need to buy any new devices. You can use traditional
Yes.
payment devices like a POS devices that contains NFC. Or alternatively, you can use a Android phone
Yes.
because it has NFC functions without money from any user.
That's where I wanted to go. And you have Google Pay, Apple Pay,
Revolut.
but one
great.
step further, if your dynamic QR code solution works perfectly, you don't even need any physical part anymore. True?
Oh, so the thing is, still, so you want to imagine, still, a lot of people don't have cell phones in those countries.
Yeah.
Oh, in those
That's
countries,
why.
okay.
Okay.
But they'll get there.
So
They are
you-
20 euro. They'll get there.
No, not really. So that's something. It's really hard to imagine in Europe, not in China. It's for us still very hard to understand as well. But when you go to those places, you will see it. The world is really big, and it's a lot of places so different from what we think.
Okay. Yeah, just try to figure out why you still have to use the card
Good question. Good
when there are
question. And
other
also,
solutions.
Also for retail.
Sure, sure. And
Retail
also, as I
infrastructure needs to be ready.
The personal
just a scanner.
identity hardware can be fixed on this card as well, and that's a low-cost solution for the personal identity.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
So how
Brady.
people payment, yeah.
Yeah, I have one last question. Then I think we are about time. So, Brady, you already showed us the roadmap for the past 1 year. How fast the EveriToken developed. So I have a question. It's like, what about next? What's your vision after all mainnet stuff is already implemented and the business-wise also grow very fast? So what's the next step?
Yeah, so I would say we definitely have an advantage on what we have achieved, but it's far from the so-called network effect or turning point. Why? Because it's still far from the massive adoption in the real world. To get there, we need a lot of more field applications. Everybody in this industry is looking for where is the 100 million users coming from? What kind of application? Or even 1 billion users, right? And that's something that can really shift this industry. So that's something we need to work on. To achieve this goal, we are lacking more strategic investors, because in the past we have lots of token investors. But to be honest, token investors, they have money, but they don't have too many business resources to help us. So that's one thing. The other thing we want to have stronger business partners worldwide in different regions. Third but not least is about building the community. It's not how big your community it is. Within your community, you see lots of great ideas pop up, or this community people, members, can help you expand on business-wise as well. So this is the approach we want to achieve. But anyway, the mission is still the same. We're trying to help people facilitate the real people, real business to enter the real token economy.
Well, I think that's about it. Thanks, Brandy, for calling us at that very late time. So we will just pick up from you here. So, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Brandy.
That's fantastic. So hopefully see you guys all next time in Amsterdam. You guys all will come, right?
Yeah. See,
Sleep well.
Okay, cool.
Sleep well.
Go.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
See you guys.
Hoe laat is het?
Bye bye.
2 uur. 2 uur.
Bye.
Looking forward
S'nachts.
to face-to-face. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you, very good one. Very good one.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
We should catch up after this meetup.
What do you say?
I mean, I speak to Zhen Yi.
Come.
Yeah.
Oh,